The G in Freemasonry equals Saturn. The Sun equals A. Mercury equals B. Venus equals C. Earth equals D. Mars equals E. Jupiter equals F. Saturn equals G. Sabbatism, or the worship of the stars, was one of the earliest deviations from the true system of religion. One of its causes was the universally established doctrine among the idolatrous nations of antiquity, that each star was animated by the soul of a hero god, who had once dwelt incarnate upon earth. Hence, in the hieroglyphical system, the star denoted a god. To this signification, allusion is made by the prophet Amos, when he says to the Israelites, while reproaching them for their idolatrous habits, "But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and Chian your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves." This idolatry was early learned by the Israelites from their Egyptian taskmasters, and so unwilling were they to abandon it, that Moses found it necessary strictly to forbid the worship of anything that is in heaven above, notwithstanding which we find the Jews repeatedly committing the sin which had been so expressly forbidden. Saturn was the star to whose worship they were more particularly addicted under the names of Moloch and Chian, already mentioned in the passage quoted from Amos. The planet Saturn was worshipped under the names of Moloch, Malcolm or Milcom by the Ammonites, the Canaanites, the Phoenicians, and the Carthaginians, and under that of Chian by the Israelites in the desert. Saturn was worshipped among the Egyptians under the name of Rai-Fan, or, as it is called in the Septuagint, Ren-Vi-Fan. Saint Stephen, quoting the passage of Amos, says, "Ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Remphan." Hale, in his analysis of chronology, says in alluding to this passage, "There is no direct evidence that the Israelites worshipped the dog star in the wilderness, except this passage, but the indirect is very strong, drawn from the general prohibition of the worship of the sun, moon, and stars, to which they must have been prone. And this was peculiarly in Egyptian idolatry, where the dog star was worshipped, as notifying by his heliacal rising, or immersion from the sun's rays, the regular commencement of the periodical inundation of the Nile. And the Israelite sculptures at the cemetery of 𝗧𝗿𝗱𝗶𝗁𝗱𝗏, or graves of lust, in the neighborhood of Sinai, remarkably abound in hieroglyphics of the dog star, represented as a human figure with a dog's head. That they afterwards sacrificed to the dog star, there is express evidence in Josiah's description of idolatry, where the Syriac Mazaloth, improperly termed planets, denotes the dog star, in Arabic, Mazaroth.